This is the Going In Show where we discuss subject matter most are scared to touch.
Yeah, a platform where we address racial and cultural relations from a hip hop perspective.
I'm Raw Proof, a so-called white dude.
And I'm Pal Shadows, the general of the House of Hip Step.
This is the Going In Show.
So let's go in,
Let's
yo.
go in.
Yo, Proof, I think it's about time we do a show on race and cultural relations, you know?
Sounds kind of dangerous.
Yeah, but we gotta stay dangerous, you feel me? Get it together, we about to go in. Get it together, we about to go in. Get it together, we about to go in. Raw Proof, Pal Shadow, show them how we can win. Get it together, we about to go in. Get it together, we about to go in. Get it together, we about to go in. Raw Proof, Pal Shadows, we about to begin.
Yes. So I'm Raw Proof, and I come from a military family, multicultural background, from the Midwest all the way down south. And I'm a lifer when it comes to hip hop. I'm a lifer when it comes to eradicating racism. And so that's the reason why I came to the spot, to pose the questions that some are scared to ask. And we're gonna chew the meat and get down to this nitty gritty, nasty thing about racism and, things of this nature, so.
And I'm Pal Shadows, general of the House of Hip Step. And, I've been emceeing for many, many years right here in Music City. That's where we are, by the way. We're located right here in Music City as we do this. And, Nashville it's been a special place for me. I came here to go to TSU, to go to college, Tennessee State University. Salute Big Blue, all y'all Tigers out there, and y'all Tiger Bells. And, ever since I came to Nashville, I've seen that, just like other cities I go to, I see segregation. And I see, where there's multiple cultures existing, but I don't see them really coming together. So that's something that's always kind of like been on my brain. As an MC growing up here in Tennessee, you can imagine I've experienced a lot of racism and I've experienced a lot of discrimination and been in situations, and we'll get into some of those situations in this show. But that's what this show is about. It's the ability for us to come on and bring other people on to share their experiences, from a real place. So, really, I guess you could say the reason that I'm here is to help some of these racial discrimination circumstances that I see within Music City and around the country when I travel.
No doubt. Yes. We definitely here to bring some solutions and, like I say, pose the questions that some find hard to ask each other and inspire others to do just the same. So, like, when it comes to solutions, what have you done recently to, build with these type of conversations and things?
Yo, I'm glad that you asked that question, because, one word that stuck out in that question is solutions. And a lot of the times I notice when people talk about race and race relations, fam, it seems like it's more about complaining about what happened. And I don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't complain about it or express what happened to you. But sometimes it seems like the conversation just gets drawn around what happened to you, what you don't like, and what's going on. Whereas we want to focus more on the solutions and be solution-based, because that's where the healing is going to take place, and that's where we really trying to go. So me personally, one thing that I've done is, last night, we did something. When I say we, I planned it and I promoted it, but we as the community took part in it and made it happen. And that was the Hip Hop is Black History celebration.
Yes.
At Soulberg Studios on Jefferson Street.
No doubt. Historical Jefferson Street.
That's one thing I feel like I've done recently to help race relations in the country, because, that was real important, I felt like.
Most definitely. I mean, you invited me out to the event, and I made sure that I showed up. And my favorite part of the event was, or my favorite point of the event was just that you and I had shared some information that may not be widely recognized. We were talking about different things such as labels and just language in general, and how systematic forces use language as a tool, straight up and down, to divide and conquer. So you want to speak on one of those points that you made last night?
Yeah. Again, shouts out to Soulberg Studios on Jefferson Street. We're trying to reestablish the legacy of Jefferson Street and expose the legacy, because a lot of people just don't know how historical of a place Jefferson Street is. It's right, it runs you right into TSU from downtown, right. Tennessee State University. And I want to go into a little bit about what I talked about last night as far as the Washita. And I don't know if you remember this, but I said probably the most important fact about Black history is knowing that Black people are the original people of the planet.
Right.
On all the continents, we are the indigenous people. And a lot of people, when we talk about Black history, we just go right into slavery happened and the civil rights movement and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. But wait a minute.
That's the narrative.
That's the narrative. But one of the most key facts that we need to talk about with Black history is how Black people are the original people.
And, I made a point last night which pretty much aligned with those sentiments, which is, how hip hop, for me, it exposed me to people that were talking about Black historical figures, Black struggles here in America, which led me to pick up books to read more and study and find out more. And then that in turn, by the time I was 22 years old, I was reading books trying to figure out and find out and study and learn about just the history of our species in general. So when you use words like the indigenous people of the planet, science says that the oldest bones were found on the continent of Africa. You're not lying.
Right. And those bones were found by a doctor named Dr. Richard S. Leakey, a so-called white man. And we're going to get into why we say so-called white and so-called Black.
Right.
We're going to get into that. But yeah, when Dr. Leakey discovered these bones in the place that we now call like Tanzania, around that area, he discussed that these were bones of a Black woman, of what we now call Black female. And I thought that was very interesting, because that proves that all human life originated with Black people. And about that event last night, I should let y'all know it's a live stream, and I encourage everybody to follow me on Facebook, Pal Anoli Shadows on Facebook, or Pal Shadows the General, and you can actually see the live stream that we did last night. Hip Hop is Black History, the first annual live show and live stream of its type, and that's what it was. I want y'all to make sure you have that information so you could check it out. But it was beautiful. It was just, I mean, we gave honor to the Great Spirit, to the ancestors. Brother Frederick Weathersby came out with the band, Braxton, OB on the drums, Braxton on the sax, Frederick Weathersby on the keys, and our friends and family were present. And it was just, and performing those songs from my NGR project, from my book, which we're going to talk about my book on this show as well, because I'm also an author. I'm an MC and I'm an author.
Yo, before you say any more, let's go to break real quick. Check out the product, check out the book, NGR, The History of the N-Word.
Cool. Peace and love, what it do? This is yours truly, General Pal Anoli Shadows of the House of Hip Step. And you can check out my book, NGR, What Does It Mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective. Because we like to do things from a hip-hop perspective, because that's what time it is. And this book is more like a journey. It's like of my personal life, a memoir, if you will, a social experiment, to try to help us to heal from racism and white supremacy. Because let's face it, racism is not going to end through osmosis. we're gonna have to get knowledge and take action. So again, check out my new book, NGR, What Does It Mean? And I know that some of y'all don't have time to sit down and read a good book, so that's why I put it on audiobook. So please, check out my new book and get that knowledge, yo. This is the information age, and knowledge is power.
Welcome back to the Going In Show with Proof and Powell. Hey, yo, Powell, I got a question for you, man. You know, these labels that identify us as people in society, just want to, you know, talk about that a little bit because, you know, I don't know if I truly identify with being a quote-unquote white person. What about you? You identify?
So you mean like these labels as far as how we call ourselves black and white? And
Yeah, these strong contrasts.
Asians are yellow people and
Yeah, sure.
Mexicans are brown.
Yeah, Mexicans are brown, but then,
All right.
you know, I'm brown too, you know.
Yeah, let's go into that a little bit.
What is this about?
So I think in order to go into and address that proof, I think we should address. I encourage everybody right now to go into your dictionary and look up the term black, right? Because like I talk about in my book NGR, What Does It Mean? An expose on the N-word. In that book is where I define what the term black means. And if you look up the definition of the term black, trust me, you're not gonna like it because every term that they identify, like what you call yourself is very important.
No doubt.
You know, it's because you're speaking word to power, you know, and what you speak into existence. So definitely what you label yourself, like if you keep saying, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I don't, you know, then that is the energy, that's how the universe will perceive you as. And on the flip side, you can do it differently. But like, for instance, the term black, when you look it up in a dictionary proof, it says the most derogatory things. It says like, it says unlucky, unfavorable,
Right.
You know, of dark,
Wicked.
wicked, and all of those descriptions. Then the flip it says a term applied to a black or person of black or African American descent. So wait a minute, you got all these wicked, unlucky, evil, all these dark, all these things, and then the very next definition, it says a person of black or African American descent. Then when you Google the term, when you look up the definition of the term white, it actually says favorable, lucky,
Wow.
fair,
Unblemished.
unblemished.
Right.
So knowing that we're not colors in the crayon box, right? But we're actual people. Are these terms that we should be calling ourselves?
That's the question.
That's the question. Now you, as somebody that they call white, how do you see that, man? For real.
You know, I stood up in front of a group of about 30 men one time at a warehouse job I had, and they were throwing around, you know, racial vocabulary. And I made a statement. I said, you know what, guys? I said, I got a funny feeling that if you're my age, that your grandfather, or if you're younger, maybe your great-grandfather, didn't really identify with that word white a whole lot. And I say this coming from the Midwest, where the cities, even to this day, are kind of grouped around different cultures. You know, you may be German American is what Grandpa identified as, Scottish American, you know, Irish American, in my case, Serbian American. And, you know, everybody kind of stopped and thought about it whenever I posed that question or made that statement. And, you know, quote unquote white people, I feel like we had more culture when we did identify that, because you're identifying from a regional place. You're not putting this this label that really has no root in its definition when it comes to you as a person. So like, you know, Irish people, they have certain traditions and foods and dances and instruments that, you know, their ancestors would play. And I feel like we kind of, you know, as white people, we kind of gave up a lot of that for this. And it's not that I feel, the facts is if you go through history, you'll find out that, you know, slavery before it started down in Africa, it started in Eastern Europe, is where Spain and Portugal and these more well-known European countries were grabbing people from and using them as their free labor. And so when the slave trade moved down there to West Africa, West Central Africa, they freed all these people and made them free men. And by coming up with that terminology, black, turned by Gomez de Zurara. Gomez de Zurara, 1450s. When he was recruited by the Portugal king to write a book and describe the whole continent of Africa as beastly and inferior, he also started using the term. He wasn't the first person to ever use a term or the term black, but he used it in that book to describe a whole continent full of people and tell a book full of lies. It was a marketing ploy is what a book was. They didn't have YouTube advertisements. They had books. And so he wrote that book, and in turn, by keep calling these people black, well, what were these other people supposed to be? They weren't from Spain and France.
Yo, and you know what? Like when I think about what gives me the screw face, for real about that, it's like I think of a chessboard, right? And on the chessboard, you got black pieces and you got the white pieces, and they're in direct opposition and competition. And by calling ourselves black and white, in my opinion, what they've done is create automatically a competition between us as people. First of all, we're just supposed to both be Americans, right?
No doubt.
Where we have the same interests, the same ideas of qualities of life, the same ideas of education for our children, the same ideas of security and safety, you know, but we don't. You know, a lot of people don't even know that, like, self-determination is so important. That's labeling yourself, calling yourself what you want to be called, and not allowing people outside yourself to call you that. Like the Nigerians, the people of Nigeria, don't you know the word Nigeria wasn't even a word that those people gave themselves?
Themselves, right.
Those people are, you know, I'm not sure what exactly the tribes there, but Yoruba is one of them. I'm not sure some other tribes. I really need to do research on that. But let's just say take Yoruba. Those people, those are Yoruba people. That's how they see themselves. Nigeria is a term created by Lady S. Dugard, who was British, who had interest in that area, and she decided that that area should be named Nigeria, taken from the Niger River, which Niger itself is one of the origins of the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Which is Latin for black. Niger is Latin for black. So Nigeria was given to that area that region on the River Niger by a Caucasian lady, a so-called white lady, who's supposed to be my enemy, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Who labeled that as such. And again, that black and white thing, we're not colors in a crayon box. Right. You know, that just really is it's foul when I think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand how it irks you. I can see how it irks a lot of people and how it irked tens of thousands of people in 2020, you know, during the pandemic and all. 2020 was a crazy year because we had COVID-19 everywhere, but we also had tens of thousands of people, you know, rioting and protesting, police brutality, violence on Black Americans, you know, and it was a wild time, man. I know I participated in the protest myself, and
how you feel now, man? Seeing what you see, do you feel like that was worth your time? You know, was that really worth your time? All that protesting?
That's a hard question. You know, me personally, like I said at the beginning of this show, I'm a lifer when it comes to hip hop, and I'm a lifer. I truly believe, you know, racism is something I probably will have to fight until my death, one way or another, if it's on my personal level, you know, at the job or wherever, and that's cool. That's just who I am. So yeah, I mean, it was worth it. I kind of wish I would have did a little bit more, but you know.
I like what you said, you know, because
nobody ever plans on going to jail. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think it's so important for us to, when we protest and we look back on all that, is to, you know, I think the revolution of the mind needs to take place. I mean, we could protest, and that's fine, you know, but I think the real revolution, the real change first starts with changing the way we think, the way we treat each other, because what good is a revolution if we still treat each other like trash?
Right.
We have garbage personalities, you know? So I think that that's something to look at, man. But, you know, this is the Going In show, and we want to continue to go in, you know? So I just really hope that people understand what we're doing here.
Yeah, I mean, we're actually just kind of surfing the we're actually just scratching the surface.
Surfing now?
Yeah, we surfing on top of the rocks of the pavement that we are digging up because we are going in. But yeah, man, you know, this is just, we have many more topics, many more discussions to speak on when it comes to cultural and racial issues or racially charged subject matter. So I'm not scared to ask you, you know what I'm saying,
I ain't scared to ask you. And like a piggy bank, this is 1 penny, bro. Yo, we'll be back after this break.
Yeah. No better way to say F the system in public than rocking your very own Raw Proof t-shirt. We got them in black. We got them in white. That's right. Yo, hit up rawproof.net.
And welcome back to the Going In show with Proof and your fam pal. And, you know, a lot of the reason why we're here today, you know, we're sincere about helping to heal racism and helping to heal from the effects of racism in this country. You know, we're not the only ones. We want to rally up all the soldiers, you know, all the troops. So I really want to start this off by giving a shout out to all y'all protesters out there. You know, all y'all ones that stood up and continue to stand up every day. You know, people like the Africana Studies Department over at TSU. My professor and mentor, Dr. Al Hadid, all the students at Tennessee State University, Fisk, Meharry, MTSU, all these colleges and universities around Nashville, because many of y'all participated and y'all been really doing y'all best to help address racism and address these elephants in the room and help to end white supremacy. And this is for y'all. This is for y'all. Shouts out to Blazewater, and go to blazewater.com for our creative cannabis products. Go to astrotap.com. Also, shouts out to my homies AJ and Ryan, my business partners. And a big, strong shout out to my fam, my brethren, Frederick Weathersby and the Pitch Black Studio Orchestra, and all the people and the staff over at Solberg Studios.
That's what's up. Yo, shout out to Just Bam. Yo, shout out to Just Bam. Shout out to Eliminate. Shout out to Amber Vasaki at All Hemmed Up, John Blackwell. Shout out to The Bridge over on Tusculum Road. Shout out to the Home Network, 615 Main Street. Check them out. NECAD Studios, the Center for Spiritual Living of Nashville. And big shout out to the Madhouse Recording Studio. That's my peoples right there. And we shall leave you with the musical guest, E.T. Got Soul.
Yeah, yeah. E.T. Longevity. Been doing this a long time, many decades. Let's go in. Yeah. Come on. Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, come sing along because I got the catalog and I can hit you with the right song. Turning the pages as I'm passing through the ages, different stages from the last one. I got longevity, deep genetic pedigree, so let this be your fight song. And half the time these MCs ain't even rhyming, they ain't even got their mics on. For 3 decades been composing these essays, so let's say an OG. And if you read it start to finish, every triumph, every blemish, then you know me. Yeah, I'm here to tell you that my rhymes are rather stellar, from the cellars and the basements. And we go harder than the rocks down at Gibraltar, and we never get complacent. Form an alliance on beats with just vibes while I preach, bringing the action. And I got records for weeks, so grab a seat, guarantee satisfaction. Yeah, cause I'ma hit you with a scripture, a lethal elixir, mixing up the potion. And I hope you get the picture that I'm a permanent fixture in the fabric I am woven. Come on, come sing along because I got the catalog and I can hit you with the right song. Yeah, turning the pages as I'm passing through the ages, different stages from the last one. I got longevity, deep genetic pedigree, so let this be your fight song. Yeah, and half the time these MCs ain't even rhyming, they ain't even got their mics on. Creating legacy, making a better me, so get in line for the attraction. Yeah, we always bringing the skills, no raw deals, yo, cause we don't spit that whack. And if you listen, you might hear a mention that grabs your attention to relate to. Yeah, cause I tell stories of wisdom and glory. It's surely a place to escape to. And once you get it, you got it. We shipping this product, been doing it for ages. Yo, a magnificent author, articulate, thoughtful, gospel on the pages. Yeah, so bear witness, prepare for the quickness, and get this before it leaves the station. And realize that I'm one of a kind. Through time, my music stays ageless. Come on, yeah, come sing along because I got the catalog and I can hit you with the right song. Yeah, turning the pages as I'm passing through the ages, different stages from the last one. I got longevity, deep genetic pedigree, so let this be your fight song. Yo, and half the time these MCs ain't even rhyming, they ain't even got their mics on. One more time, yeah, come sing along because I got the catalog and I can hit you with the right song. Yeah, turning the pages as I'm passing through the ages, different stages from the last one. I got longevity, deep genetic pedigree, so let this be your fight song. One more time, yeah, and half the time these MCs ain't even rhyming, they ain't even got their mics on. Turn your mics on. Yeah, longevity, ET, etgotsoul.com. Let's go in. Yeah.
ET Got Soul with longevity. One of Nashville's finest in the building. This crew, this fam right here. Check out his social media. What's the social media?
ET Got Soul on all streaming platforms, all the Instagrams, Facebooks, everything. ET Got Soul.
And that's the Going In show once again.
Going in. Hey, y'all, remember, don't be afraid to what?
Go
in,
in.
man. You know what I'm saying?